Welcome to Nerd Territory. My name is Shako and thank you for watching. Since you clicked on this video, you will be watching my reaction. Oh no, not reaction actually. My review for Attack on Titan Season 1. Yeah, I've been just saying reaction all this time for all of those videos, so automatically I said reaction, but no, it's a review of Season 1 of Attack on Titan. Disclaimer, I have a couple of disclaimers today. Whoever is the first time here watching this video, I've never seen any other season other than Season 1 of Attack on Titan. Actually, I have uploaded the full reactions of Season 1 on my channel. It's been uploading since August actually, so you can take a look if you like watching people react to your favorite shows, and if Attack on Titan is your favorite show, you can take a look on all my reactions to Attack on Titan Season 1. But yeah, today I just want to discuss the season fully. I want to discuss the themes of the season, the storytelling, characters, etc, etc, basically a lot of things. But if you have not seen my reactions, go watch it first and then come here, you will have more insight, and subscribe as well. But yeah, and another disclaimer is that I eventually thought about this video. I wanted to make it more artsy in a way that it would take a lot of editing, so I decided that I'm not gonna do that because I don't have time and nerves to just edit so many things, and this video will not be edited as well, so bear with me if you're gonna hear a lot of and stuff like that. I will not be editing them out. I'm sorry guys, I just don't have enough time, but I promise when I watch all of 4 seasons and movies, I believe there are 2 movies after 4 seasons, I will make the full video, full review of all the seasons, and it will be edited and very well done. But this time just bear with me, watch as it goes, because I'm not editing it, I'm just kind of short in time and stuff, so it's just too much work to edit the whole video, because I believe I might talk quite a lot in this video. But yeah, those are 2 disclaimers, and now I want to go to the part where I'm gonna describe how I'm going to be reviewing Attack on Titan. First of all, I'm gonna talk about the story, themes that I picked up, some philosophies that I picked up from author, and how I like the storytelling, what I maybe don't like about it, even though I don't think there is anything that comes in mind right now. And one thing, I have not planned this or written down my thoughts, I'm just coming, and whatever will come in my mind, I'm gonna talk in this video. But yeah, so the first part will be just generally discussing the show, and the second part will be discussing characters and predictions for these characters, and generally predictions of what I think is gonna be happening in season 2, 3, 4, like whatever, like what I generally think is gonna be happening, and what I think might be happening in the story as of right now, based on what I watched in season 1, and I watched OVAs as well. So this kind of include OVAs as well. So I watched Ilse's Notebook, I watched No Regrets Part 1 and 2, it was heartbreaking, No Regrets 1, Poor Levi Man, but yeah, whatever, and I watched Sudden Visitor, and I watched Distress, I think it was Distress. So I'm gonna be including those OVAs in my reviews as well, and character reviews as well, because it fleshed out some of the my favorite characters from season 1 quite well, some of the OVAs, which was amazing. I'm very glad I watched all of them. And then I don't know if you know about this show called Survivor. It's like an American TV show. People are on the island, basically it's a game show, which is very good actually, if you ask me. If you have not seen, I would suggest to go and watch any season basically. There is, like, for the fans of Survivor, there is this editing platform, not editing, reviewing platform called Inside Survivor, and they have like Edgic there. They call it Ejic. So what they do is that they give each player, each character of the particular season of Survivor ratings for each episode. So for example, this is like a review of storytelling, and you could actually predict a lot of things if you just pay attention deep enough to what each character, each player is getting on a week to week basis, and they are giving ratings. They are saying who might win in that, because obviously it's a game show and there is a winner and stuff, and who seems like they're gonna be more important characters and characters we are gonna be seeing more. So I'm gonna be doing this for Attack on Titan. I'm gonna be giving the ratings. So there are like 4 ratings when it comes to this Ejic, and I'm gonna follow this rating. So there is one which is called CP. It's complex personality, basically. That's how it's translated. Then there is middle of the road, so not like complex but not fully forgotten personalities, kinda. So they are MOR. Then there is under the radar, which are I think UTR, and then there is a rating called invisible. So basically, for that episode someone was never shown, they get the rating of invisible, which is not very good for the longevity of the character and importance of the character. So this is how I'm gonna do this, because I've been reading this Ejic for a long time now, and I think it's really good idea to notice and pay attention to each scene basically any particular character is getting, and based on that you can really try to diss out their stories, their hidden stories, how important they're gonna be, are they gonna die, are they gonna make it all the way to the end, and stuff like that. So this is basically how I'm gonna do the characters part, but for the first half of this review I just want to talk about the show. I will give 10 out of 10 to season 1. I think season 1 was amazing opener for this story, and I believe that it's gonna pick up from here. It's gonna be even better and better, and I've been told my friend as well, not just that I believe, but I've been told by my friend as well that season 1 is their least favorite, and then some of the people in the comments also wrote that their least favorite season is season 1, but also saying that even season 1, even if it's their least favorite, it's still very good, right? So I do believe story is gonna pick up the pace from here. I don't know exactly in which direction we are going right now. We have this basement stuff, we have Eren's dead stuff, we have now Annie's dead stuff. So like how connected are Eren's dead and Annie's dead? How connected is the basement to the whole mystery that we are having right now? From which fraction Annie is coming? Like obviously Annie grew up within the walls, I'm assuming, right? So and obviously she unlike Eren, it did not seem like she did not know about her Titan powers, right? Because she was using it to get Eren, she killed so many people, right? So the mystery right now for me is, first of all, the basement, and where the fuck is Eren's dead? Like, where is what's his name? Grisha Jäger. Because when the story started, I was picking up some clues that this guy seemed to be very important as a character, like a very integral part of the story, and we got mentions of him. We saw him in a couple of 2 or 3 episodes, like we saw him in a flashback, in Mikasa's flashback, I think it was episode 7, 6, something like that, and after that, like, there is no mention of the guy. The last time I believe it was mentioned, it was by Erwin and Levi, when they were first meeting Eren and interrogating him and saying that it seems like your father knows something or whatever, basically. But after that, no mention of the basement anymore, no mention of this guy. He has been missing for like 5 good years now. Where the fuck is he? Why cannot we find him in these confined walls? Like, yeah, it's quite big, but it cannot be that big, right? You can not hide that long, if you ask me, from the sunlight. I don't know, like, yeah, the mystery is definitely revolving around basement for me right now, that most of the season. And then any stuff got added. Then we understood that Colossal and Armored are just like Annie and Eren. So who are Colossal and Armored? Who is Annie's dad? I believe Annie's dad is the one maybe who turned Annie into a Titan. And there is some kind of a mission for sure, because in a flashbacks, in a final episode, in a flashback, he was like, I'm sorry for this and for, I don't remember exactly, but I'm sorry, please come back safe, whatever. So it seemed like he put Annie up to this, but then he regretted it, but he could not change it anymore. It seemed like that. So it's very interesting to see where that story is gonna go. Also, what else am I so interested to find out? Yeah, I would love to know the origin of Titans, and I would love to know the origin of the walls. I've been thinking about this, and especially that final information we can share so far in the final episode was this huge ass story basically about two people within the walls who try to understand if walls were going underground. They dug like, and then they dig a lot, and then finally they saw that wall was like this, and then going like this basically into the ground. So it was like they are fully confined in these walls. So then military police came and took them, both of them. So both of them basically disappeared just to end it, and it gave me like, what's going on? And then the post-credit scene had a colossal looking Titan inside the wall. What's that all about? Like, and it seemed like definitely that it was inside the wall, because it cannot be like any, damaged it, right? But she did not like go, like, it's very thick. She did not really go through, like, the only explanation is it's inside. So it got me thinking like, what? And then it got me thinking one more thing. How was the walls built? Like, what the hell? The lore so far that is given to us is that, suddenly 100 and something years ago, Titans appeared, and just like that, within the days, it brought humanity near extinction, and then the surviving people built these huge ass walls that go miles and miles and miles. I believe they are 50 meters tall. Are you kidding me? And they are very thick. They like the concrete, and all of the technology that would be needed to build these walls. Like, it's insane, and especially with most of the humanity already being gone because of Titans, and then Titans are still coming, right, to kill the rest of us. So how did we manage in a short period of time before Titans came to eat us all to build 3 walls? Let's not forget, not just 1 wall, 3 walls. But okay, let's say main wall would be to build the outer one, right? After that you can freely and peacefully build the inner ones, right? Okay, but even just to give it to them, that these to them, the even outer ones, how did they manage to build it? Like, it does not seem like they have the technology even right now, let alone 100 years ago, to build anything like this. So it got me thinking about my theory, which is coming, which is aliens. Like, I've been saying this not very much, but if you watched my reactions to season 1, and if you have not, still I'm telling you, go and watch it. But I've had at the start, especially, the idea maybe it's built by aliens, not built, maybe these Titans are aliens brought these Titans or whatever, basically. And now these walls also tell me, like, I don't think it could have been built by normal human beings. I just don't. So I'm hoping this is not a plot hole in the story. I'm really hoping. Even if it is, it's okay. Even if we are just supposed to believe that us humans built it, I'm gonna take it, because story has been amazing. 1 or 2 flaws is not gonna do anything for me, but I really hope it has been so perfectly written, and everything seems so connected so far in season 1, that I really hope that we are gonna get the explanation or backstory or some kind of an explanation of how walls were built. And it's like a mystery. It's like a pyramids for us, and especially the Sphinx one. Like, did it come from? I know. Like, I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist a little bit. Maybe I'm just looking too much into this, but I feel like now when there was another emphasis on the walls. First of all, there was this whole huge story given by information we can share so far in the final episode about walls. It's so eerie. Like, military police knows something, government knows something for sure. We are gonna get to the government and military police very soon, and it's not gonna be a pleasant conversation. But like, something about the walls, mark it down. I want to get an answer on the walls, how the walls were built. I want it, and the story will be perfect. But yeah, with this Titan now inside it, there is something eerie about these walls. I don't know what, I don't know how they built it. I need the explanation. Okay, another thing right now I want to talk about is the government of our walls, and how from season 1, episode 1, like from the premiere episode, how it was set up, mainly by Armin's character. It was Armin's character was used kinda to give us a little bit of an idea about the inner workings and politics of the wall. And from episode 1 I was saying, is government corrupt? Because what Armin mentioned is that it's illegal to even talk about the outside world. Why? As a government who is governing over your people, and if you care about your people, that your main goal should be to find out what are the Titans, right? And how we can get back out there and defeat them. But instead, you make it illegal to talk about outside world at all. You cannot really go out if you want to. Now, like that, I understand. Like, it would be a death, right? Then you need to join the scouts, become a soldier, then you can go. That I understand. But from the first moment when Armin started talking about this stuff, how it's illegal, and I was like, oh, is government okay here? And then as it went on, every single passing episode, already in a second episode, they sent 250,000 people to their deaths just because to solve a food shortage problem. Like, what? 250,000 people? That just tells you directly government does not care for its people. Like, they don't give a shit about them, right? They just sacrifice this many people. And yeah, from that point forward, then this thing happened where, like, there was a court and people deciding whether to kill Eren or not, and the military police is heavily integrated with the governing part of the walls, and they were the first ones saying we need to kill Eren, and then there was this whole like weird politics going on between merchants. It was very interesting episode. Like, now in hindsight, looking back at it, it was one of the most important episodes in terms of finding out and kind of gauging what the life is all about within the walls, how everything works in the society, what is the system, how it is built, etc., right? So that episode, it was even alluded that there is like an animosity between the walls. So wall Rose and wall, the most inner one, Sina. Wall Rose and wall Sina are not unified at all. Like, while it was such a small scene, like, that's a genius of whoever wrote this. I think I saw his name, but I still don't remember. But whoever wrote this, it's a genius of him. It's smaller sentences and scenes, like 10-second, 5-second scene can give you so much information and insight. Like, there was this scene in, I think it was episode 14, that's when Eren's court was happening. And before the court started ever, like, there was like this little scene where Wall Rose people were very excited for having someone like Eren who had Titan powers and who could change something for the better, which is a logical thing. That's how you should be. And then Wolcina people were not excited at all. They wanted Eren dead. They were very worried. They thought that Walrus people are gonna use Eren to apprehend us and start a war against us, so they can come into our safest place within this wall. So it's just goes to show you how fucked up the system is from the beginning, how not unified and united the people are within the wall, which is, I believe, for example, walls have its own double meaning, which I will get to, but like we have the obvious enemy, which is a titan, right? Titans who eat us, they are our natural predator. And then we have a not very obvious enemy, which is our own selves. Like we, instead of uniting, and Pixis mentioned this to Eren, that someone said in the past that if humanity found an enemy which is greater than themselves, then they would unite, and that's total load of bullshit. We have that same enemy, and everybody is thinking about their own ass. They are only these individuals, like for example scouts, who are selfless and who go out there. And even for the scouts, they have their own selfish reasons. For example, why Eren and Armin joined was mainly because they wanted to see outside world, and then for Eren it became even more personal. He wanted to revenge for his mom, and then Mikasa joined obviously because of Eren. So even that, like even our three characters are not very selfless. That's such a good thing as well. Like our characters, they are not perfect. They are flawed, and you know, it's been a wild ride seeing all of these characters just develop and go through all of these situations, which I will get to when I will discuss each and every character separately. But yeah, like the governing part definitely seems like it's very corrupt. Not seems, it is very corrupt. I'm hoping, and actually my prediction is that we are actually going to get a story arc. I think in season 2 it might be coming, of the government and military police and how useless they are, and they are not really helping out in any way possible. It was such a good scene for Jean. It just goes to show you his character development, how he's wanting to, you know, protect Eren or to fight Annie in that penultimate episode, and then he sees military police up in the roof, confused and not knowing what to do, and he's like, oh man, I could have ended up being like them. Like, what happened to you guys? That's like why I'm mentioning all of this stuff. It's just a genius of writing. Like, it's such a simple sentence and it shows so much. Like, it gives you Jean and how his character developed and grew during the season. How military police is kind of useless and they are, you know, just there to enjoy like inner peace and to enjoy safety of the inner wall. Right, so it's just amazing. Like, then there is so many different stuff like this or in each and every episode that you look at it, you look at a scene, you don't really think much of it, and then like after 5-6 episodes later, you're like, oh, connection. Oh, he said that, you know, and it's not something big connections. Like, for example, I don't know, like my friend showed me, for example, I think it was episode 3. It was such a crazy thing that my friend showed me. It was episode 3, I think, when they are first enlisted into the cadets, and Eren cannot maintain the balance because then it turns out his equipment was defective. By the way, where is the story there? Because I believe that someone maybe malfunctioned his gear on purpose. I thought it was Jean, but we never really followed that story at all, so I believe that it was just my paranoia. But yeah, whatever, let's just get back to it. And when he slams the head into the ground and he's sitting and eating with Mikasa and Armin, the steam is coming up from his wound. And he's saying that this, and you know, even if you noticed, you would just think that, oh, this is anime, you know, this is just anime's way of expressing that it really hurts, right? But in reality, when Titan shifters regenerate, steam comes out of them. As I understood, that's how it happened for Eren, for example. And when my friend told me, I was like, oh my god, like, how can you write it so perfectly? Like, that's a big foreshadowing, right? But I'm not even talking about big foreshadowings. For example, in episode 1, there was this scene where Armin is getting bullied, Mikasa and Eren come and save him, kinda, and Armin is on the ground, and Eren is like, okay, come on, take my hand and save him, and Armin is like, looks like the face is a little bit interesting, his face he makes, he looks down, and then he looks up and he's like, I can stand on my own. Which is like such a weird thing to say, like, take your friend's hand, right? I even noticed it watching, like, why won't not you take your friend's hand? And then as the season progresses, we learn how insecure Armin is about his physical strength, how he does not value himself. So even in that scene, author already plants a seed about Armin's character flaws and what he will be needing to deal with moving forward into the story. And I could like continue these examples forever, but we are gonna then stay here forever, so I'm just gonna move on. Another thing which I love from the show so far is how nothing seems one-sided, how every side can find their own logical explanations for themselves why they are doing what they are doing. So for example, military police, you understand why they want Eren dead, right? Because they are scared, they have this mentality that Walrose is gonna use Eren to come and fuck us up, and then the merchants kinda have the same thing, and merchants also are like, let's seal up all the gates. But then if you seal up all the gates, scouts could never go, right? Or it would be really, really hard for scouts to go. They somehow need to transport the horses. I don't know how on the other side of the world, whatever. Like there's like so many, and if you think about it, you will be able to see everybody's side. You will may not agree with them, but you still understand where everybody is coming from. And that's such an interesting thing to write, like not interesting, like complex thing to write, you know, it takes a lot of thought and a lot of work on your art that you are creating to write something so multifaceted and so amazing, and then so connected, like everything seems like there are so many different storylines, but it seems like there is like a big tree with the branches, but it all goes down, you know, like into the, I don't know what it's called, where tree is coming from. I don't know in English word. It's pest maybe in Georgian, but whatever, I'm sure you understood. So everything is connected within this one tree, but they are different branches, different storylines, different characters, different agendas, etc., etc. Another thing is how Attack on Titan expresses existential crisis to an amazing level. Like I don't know if anything else can describe existential crisis as well as Attack on Titan. Like these people, they live within these walls, so this wall has such a double meaning towards it. It's like a metaphor, first of all, to the walls we build up in ourselves to feel safe. And you know, they work to a degree where we are safe because of these walls, but then it kind of disrupts so many things. You could see so many new things, you could experience so many new experiences, and have such a better and more enjoyable life if we are more open, right? And the walls are definitely a metaphor to that. What's happening with these walls? Yeah, these walls keep us safe. First of all, we don't know when they're gonna crumble down. They could crumble down at any minute, which we see in the first episode that they do, because of this colossal Titan. Yeah, like even if they never crumble down, Eren's character gives you exactly what author thought right while writing this about these walls, and what was the philosophy behind it. That, of course, this is in my opinion, right? You could disagree if you want, of course, and I would love to, if you have any other ideas, for you to write in the comments and we can discuss it. But for me, how I take these walls is that, yeah, it's like a double edged, I would not call double edged sword. It's like it has double meaning. Yeah, it has this obvious meaning that, oh, it protects us, so it's gotta be good. But then if you go to Eren and Armin, you understand, but there is so much more out there. What about this salty huge mess of water? What about this fiery water? What about this icy water, like or like sand and all of these things, like Armin was explaining to Eren in that flashback, which then became like pivotal thing, like one of the main things for Eren moving forward and for his life. Oh, there is some kind of a fireworks outside, and for his life to go outside even before his mom died, he had this dream already. And it's such an interesting thing, which I will get to, that Armin feels like the main character for me, to be honest. Armin feels like the main character of the story for me, just based on how much his character influenced our obvious main character of the story, which is Eren. But I will get to what I mean to that later. But yeah, like walls have this, but then walls are obstacle as well to overcome, because it gives us this security, this true and false sense of security at the same time. The duality is crazy, man. True, because it secured us for 100 plus years. False, because it could crumble down at any moment, as we saw, and it did, right? And then there is this whole thing, this whole world outside, and you were born into this world, right? You want to go and experience. Like, I believe there is not a single person in our world as well that does not want to travel as much as possible and see as many places as possible. Why? Because we were born into this world. I'm gonna quote Eren. And we deserve to see all of these places, but we have our own walls, which is, I don't know, like visas, and you need to have money to fly, you need to be allowed to fly to certain places, the borders of each country. So yeah, like those are our walls, I guess, that kinda are the obstacle for us to overcome to see all of these places. For Eren, Armin, and all of them, it's different. It's that border is the wall, and the border was created because of the threat outside, which are the Titans. And Titans are such an interesting theme as well, like how they are purely based on instincts, instinctual, how they just only work on that. So it's kind of even stupid to have negative emotions towards them, because they don't really think, they just attack you because that's their instinct. That's such an interesting theme as well. It just gives it just decharacterizes, if that's even a word, like no characteristic to our main villains, what seem to be a main villain, which is Titans, right? No characterization at all. They are decharacterized. So it's like, how can you be upset at them? They don't really think, they just feel, they just instinctual, right? But yeah, as the story goes, we see that there are Titans who think quite well, any and colossal and armored, we just don't know who they are yet. And yeah, like the philosophy of the show is amazing. This existential dread that each character feels on a daily basis, living in this world that you never know when it's all gonna end. Just this knowing, and how still it cannot unite us, which would be the same case if something like this would have happened to us in our world. It would be the same case as well. It's just how everyone thinks about themselves, and kind of fails to understand that they are all connected. We are like all connected through the world, right? So we need to help out each other as much as possible and stay united. That way we will be like this. It will be much harder to beat this than beat this, you know? So yeah, amazing themes so far. Like, I'm sure there are so many others I thought about, and I'm just not remembering. Freedom. Oh, freedom. Okay, let's go. Freedom seems to be one of the most prominent themes of the show because of Eren, and it's so interesting how that is dual as well. Eren seems to be so focused and concerned about his freedom and how no one can ever take that away from him, and if he wants he will go out, risk his life, but see the outside world, and if he wants he will do whatever he wants basically. And it's so important for him, and this freedom and the idea behind the freedom and feeling like he's free to do whatever the hell he wants, that he kinda gets enslaved by it, which is such a paradox if you ask me. But if you look outside in real life, if you are an observant person and you go on your life looking at some scenarios, people, how they act, what they do, and I'm very observant person, I can say. So I love seeing hidden connections through each action and everything and everything, whatever. But if you really pay attention to Eren's character, he is not free because of how obsessed he is with an idea of freedom. Like, how beautiful and horrifying is that? It's just amazing. Like, whoever wrote this show so far, I mean, I don't know, like, people are saying it's gonna get better, but I mean, you know, that might be case for others. Maybe I won't like some of the parts of the show, who knows. Hopefully that's not the case, because I love this show so far. I feel so connected to the story, to the characters, so hopefully that's not the case. But just to write this, and I don't know, maybe this was not even like an intention behind it, but it just came out like this, or maybe I'm taking it like this. And that's a very good thing about art and writing and stories especially, is that everybody is gonna take from their own experiences, from their own individual lens, you know. So it's like, this might not even be what he thought when he wrote it, but nevertheless now it's like that for me. So each and every single one of us give a story our own meaning, which is so beautiful. So for me, what I see with Eren's obsession of freedom is that he is not really free because of this obsession of freedom. That's not, if we talk about freedom, like freedom, the idea of freedom should not kinda chain you down, and I think Eren is chained down mentally for this idea of freedom and how important it is for him. And I think that it's not truly a freedom, you know. And then there is this whole trauma, like the mental health issues for each and every character, but especially for Mikasa and Eren, it's so visible how traumatized they are. Like, they are just babies, you know. They're what, like 15, 16 at this point in the story. They are just teenagers, and they are so much older than their age, and then there is so much fucking trauma within those kids. There have been so many times I've been watching and Eren said something, or someone said something to Eren, and especially it was during this arc of Female Titan where we got to know Levi's squad a little bit more, and we got to see the flashbacks and how they did not trust him, how lonely Eren felt, and then like they just did this, and oh my god, it makes me wanna cry even remembering it right now. And I just started tearing up. I wanted to just cry because I understood how much that meant for Eren, and let alone like to become what you hate the most, to be what you hate the most, which is he hates Titans the most. Now he is a Titan shifter. That's also got to take the toll. And then later on the seasons, after they kind of come in terms with this power, everybody and understands that they understand that this power can be used for good of humanity, how much pressure they are all giving him, that it's like, you need to do this or we are all done, you know. Like, it would be hard for anybody, let alone a 16-year-old boy who is most probably going through going through puberty and everything, is just a teenager, and on top of everything, on top of all this trauma, to have this much pressure as well, so many people counting on you, and so many people's lives are kind of depended on you. It's just, oh my god, like, how can Eren even sleep? I don't know. But yeah, like, like, I'm sure I'm forgetting so many stuff, man, but you know what, I decided to do these lives for it to feel raw and real, and you know what, I'm not remembering anything else. I guess it's not that more important for me, that's why I'm not remembering, right? But if I will remember something, I will get back to it. Now I want to go to predictions a little bit. I want to talk about my predictions. So season 2, I predict we reach the basement, and I predict maybe it's gonna be like right at the end of the season 2, and I predict that we are gonna get at least some like partial knowledge of what the hell is going on. Season 2, I believe we are getting Annie's backstory for sure. We need to understand what's going on. We are getting more focus on some characters. I'm gonna predict Reiner, I think is gonna need to get more screen time, more focus. Sasha as well, Connie as well, freckled girl as well, whose name I still don't know, like, what the hell. Can you imagine? It's been like 25 episodes and OVAs, and I still don't know this girl's name. And Krista as well, I believe, should get something. Bert, like, Bert, what's the point of this character? I don't know, but yeah, like, I believe that characters that we've been seeing, like secondary characters, supportive characters, are getting more screen time. That's also my it's not really a prediction, it's like kind of a wish for the story to become richer, because the more characters that are fleshed out, the more connected you feel, and then more dreadful it feels if something happens to them. Not just death, but maybe something sad, like someone dies who is close to them or something like this, you know. Now characters. First of all, I'm gonna give you my top 5 characters. I'm not doing top 10. I think top 10 is too much, so I'm gonna give top 5 characters. It's pretty cut and dry. Like, Armin is my number 1. I definitely relate most to Armin's character, his struggles, his brilliant mind, because I have a brilliant mind, you know. So yeah, Armin is just precious. I just love Armin. I don't think that Armin will ever be changed unless he's gonna die, which I believe he won't, because he's the one narrating our story, so he needs to be somewhere in the future narrating all of this, right? Unless I'm just reading too much into it. But I believe, fingers crossed, Armin is not dying, so Armin will forever stay my number 1 as of now. It can change, I don't know, but never say never. But I think he will stay in my number 1 as long as he's alive, and hopefully he's alive until the end of the show. Then my number 2, surprisingly, is Jean. Man, Jean had one of my favorite arcs this season. Jean had even more, like, Jean's arc is for me even more favorite than Armin's. Even though Armin's character is number 1, I loved Jean's arc more than Armin's, to be honest. Like, Jean, wow, like, author really took good care of Jean's character, which tells me that his longevity is up there. He's gonna be there, I think, until the end of everything. Maybe he will die by the end of the show, but I think that Jean's character got so much care during all of this that yeah, he's definitely staying on my screen for a long time. Then number 3 is Eren. Eren makes me feel so many different ways: annoyed, sad, worried, angry sometimes by some of the decisions or actions he's taking. Loving, I love his character so much. I just care for his character. I just want him to somehow try and somehow get himself to a point where he's as healed as possible from the experiences that he had from such a young age. I don't think you can fully heal yourself from something like this, but you can heal yourself to a point where, okay, it's okay now, I get it, and what happened, and I cannot do anything about it, right? So I am just rooting. I think out of everyone, Eren's character is the one I'm rooting the most for him to become better person, and better person in a case that I don't think that he's a bad person or some better person for himself, for his own mental health and inner peace, better person like that, I mean. But he's a precious boy. He's so kind, and so he has such a strong sense of justice as well, which is amazing. I've noticed it so many times. If you are nice to him, he will be nice to you as well. And how protective he is of his friends and people he loves. I love it about Eren. So Eren definitely is number 3. Then Mikasa is number 4. Oh god, Mikasa, I'm rooting for Mikasa as well, but in a way that I want Mikasa to realize that it cannot be only about Eren, it should be first about her and then about everyone else. So I'm hoping for Mikasa's character and her character arc to be something like that, where she comes to realization that okay, I love Eren and I will always love Eren, but I gotta think about myself first here, That's what I want to see from Mikasa's character, and I want also to see her caring for other characters rather than Eren. Which I will get to these characters once again. I'm just now so shortly summarizing why I like their characters, but other than that, Mikasa is amazing. She has such a strong sense of justice as well, and she is a kind person as well, and she will stand for what is right, which I love. And then she's so strong. How can you not love that about her? And then my 5th one is kind of debatable, especially after watching No Regrets. I'm thinking it's like this between Sasha and Levi. I love Levi's character, but I have to give it to Sasha because it's just Sasha's character is only ray of light when it comes to season 1 for now. Every time she was on my screen, I was just so positive and so happy and laughing, and she just gives me good vibes and good energy and makes me laugh. So and just from the moment she was introduced, I knew that she was gonna be one of my favorites. And she has not gotten much of a development throughout season 1, even though she's got a lot of screen time, if you ask me, especially compared to many characters that we have, which also told me she's gonna be important for the story at some point or another. But it comes to a character arc where she kind of developed as a character, I did not really see that from Sasha's character that much. But I just love her, so I have to give it to Sasha, the 5th place, and then Levi definitely is 6th place, but yeah, I'm not doing. Honorable mention definitely goes to Levi. Levi is amazing. I'm gonna talk about him more when we get to the characters. So these are my 5 favorite characters. Now I just want to start from Eren and go and talk about each character and their story arc so far. So Eren definitely is gonna get the complex character CP from me. He from the start to the finish, he has been very consistent as to who he is. He has shown some growth as a character in some moments, and then he switches back to his angry self sometimes. And especially the last episode gave me so much red flags about Eren's character. It's like I'm worried or where he might be heading in season 2. And I think that Eren's main arc in season 2 will be dealing with his humanity and being a monster at the same time, because he is this big monster, right, that can transform into a titan and can actually kill anybody. Maybe not Levi and Mikasa, but and he totally surrendered to that in the final episode of season 1, and to a point where he was like saying, I'm gonna destroy the entire world. And I would not pay much attention to that if it was not how it was placed. It was Annie's dad saying something like, even if the entire world is gonna hate you, and then suddenly Eren says, I'm gonna destroy the entire world. What's that all about? It just seems very eerie for me, like for our main character to say something like that. Obviously he just got carried away, but it's still, the focus was in a way, the writing was in a way, it was like, what's going on here? And then the whole conversation between Jean and Armin, where Armin was explaining to Jean right after the fight, when they are called, when they are with Mikasa and Eren in the room, and then they are called to give their statement of what happened. When they are going, Armin once again explains that if you want to defeat a monster, you have to be willing to abandon your humanity. That would be one of the ways to defeat them. And then Jean says something that struck me even more, even especially after that sentence of I'm gonna destroy the entire world, which was, but even if Eren manages to do that and becomes that monster to defeat the other monsters, would that really be a win for the humanity? And it would not. Maybe not, like, at least it would not be a win for Eren, because he would just destroy his character, his self, and that's not what Eren is, to be honest. Like what we've been seeing from Eren, he's a very precious boy. He can be very kind, very caring. And what my prediction is for Eren's character is that he's gonna be dealing with this stuff in season 2, and maybe by the end of season 2 he will come out on top and realize how he needs to move forward, that there are other ways to defeat the monsters rather than to become monster yourself. This is what I'm thinking is gonna be happening for Eren's character in season 2. Hopefully this is the case, and hopefully he will manage to rise above this, rise above his emotions. Hopefully he will manage to learn how to control his emotions, and how to maintain the balance of feeling the emotions, of course, but not letting them to get the best of you. So that's what I feel about Eren's character right now and where his story is headed. And I'm very worried for him, but I think that he is gonna manage to get better and actually kind of heal parts of himself that needs to be healed if he is to be a better person, you know. But for sure Eren's character gets CP rating, which is complex personality. Now Mikasa's character gets CP as well. I was very close to give her MOR, which is middle of the road rating for this season, just because how one-sided her character feels whenever she is with Eren, and whenever she worries about Eren, it's just all about Eren. But then I remembered the stuff about when she thought Eren was dead, how much focus she got, and that's such an irony. Mikasa's character shined the most when Eren was supposedly out of the picture, no longer in the story, and dead. That's when Mikasa kinda became her own self and was like, okay, I'm gonna keep living and I'm gonna make sure that I will help out all of these people, and I let them hear without even thinking about my life and their own lives, and she felt regret, and then she stepped up and, you know, did all of these things. It was just amazing to watch, and it was amazing to see her interact with anyone else rather than Eren, and it was like her interactions with Armin just melted my heart. It let me know, gave me an idea that she also loves Armin very much. Maybe not as much as Eren, of course. I think she loves Eren romantically, to be honest. It's been hinted at a couple of times during season 1. But she loves Armin as well. Like that scene where Armin is like, okay, leave me, you guys go, and Armin gave his gas to Mikasa, and she's like, holds him like this, and is like, Armin, I will not be leaving you here. Like, it was such a powerful scene for me, because I have not been getting anything other than Eren from Mikasa, you know. And then those couple of episodes where Eren was dead, as we thought, she got to shine, and she got to we got to see a lot of dimensions of her character, which was amazing. And after that, like, every time after that, she had the moment like she was worrying about anyone else but Eren, or she was interacting with everyone else, and I was craving it. I liked it because her content so far is so much Eren, like she's not budging or whatever, however it is. Like, she is focused, like girl can focus, you know. So it gets not tiring, it gets really frustrating for me, because I want Mikasa to be her own person, and then by being her own person, then her love to go to everybody she cares for, you know. So I'm hoping for Mikasa's character that she's gonna start noticing these things about herself, and she's gonna start really making sure that she is her number one priority, and then Eren and everybody else, you know. I'm not saying that she needs to stop loving Eren or taking care of him. No, not at all. It just needs to be healthy, you know. Right now it feels more like an obsession. Okay, Armin's character has grown, I think, the most out of 3 of them during this season. Armin was really timid, not very confident, very insecure character, and as the season passed, he became very confident in his strengths, and he acknowledged his weaknesses, which is physical strengths. And I believe like Armin managed, it's not like not fully, but managed to kinda overcome his insecurities, and then he gave so many amazing ideas. Like, without Armin, I don't know where the story would be without. I think without Armin, Eren is already executed, or scouts are all-out war against military police, because without Armin, we don't know it's any. If Armin does not figure that out, we don't know it's any, you know. That's the main thing. So it's like so, but not just that, like so many plans he set up, and every plan worked more or less. Like, he is a genius, and he kinda did this because he overcame this insecurity about himself. That 8th or 9th episode was very important for his insecurities to just crumble down, when he realized that his family, basically Mikasa and Eren, never saw him as this liability, this weak one that needs protecting. If they were protecting him, it's because they loved him. It was not because, oh, let's save Armin again, oh my god, or something like this. Like, no, it was like they loved him for who he is, and he realized this, and since then he has been in leveling up. So Armin also gets complex personality CP rating this season, and I don't know, like, Armin's story is the hardest for me. Like, what he needs to deal with in season 2, I don't know. I don't think he needs to deal with much as a character when it comes to character flaws. Like, maybe get even more confident, and maybe work on your physical strengths, buddy. I don't know. That's all I can say for his character that I want to see in season 2. Other than that, I just don't have any issues with Armin's character. Okay, now third one is Jean. Jean, CP for sure, complex character rating. Jean's story has been so fascinating. You see him, you are like, who is this asshole? I don't want to see him. Like, hopefully if someone needs to die, he will be one of the ones who will die. He's like a clear antagonist to Eren, in a way, not like antagonist of the whole story, but to Eren and rival to Eren. And then it's so funny as well how similar both of them are. But unlike Eren, Jean is willing to change some perspectives. Eren kinda as well, but mostly not. Jean, on the other hand, he's very emotional guy, and he has quite a big emotional intelligence, which I would never think would be one of Jean's strengths. And he understands also Eren so well, and he's just this abrupt personality, comes off so annoying at first, and then you get to know him and you get to understand how much he that he wears his heart on his sleeve, or how is that sentence, whatever, and you just get to fall in love with the character directly. After like 6-7th episode, you start to turn around and it's like, okay, this character, let's look at him, let's see what he's gonna do. And then from there, like especially episode 16, I believe it was one of my favorite episodes actually this season, was him and all the other cadets just contemplating what to join, which section to join, and Marco just died, and oh my god, Marco, I love him so much. And yeah, so Jean's character, I just want him to continue on this, like, oh, it was so great, like how much Marco's death impacted him is also so beautiful. And then that sentences when he was trying to get Eren to wake up and turn into Titan to fight Annie, like, you promised, and you know, like, is this what all of us died for, you know, whoever died? And what about Marco, oh my god, I cried on that scene, I cried. And yeah, CP for sure, complex personality, and I'm hoping that he just continues on this way upwards as a character. And I'm waiting big things from Jean, actually. I'm waiting for the big things when it comes to Jean's character. I believe his longevity. I did not even talk about the longevity of main three. It's completely clear that they are gonna be there for the most of the show, all three of them. But the complexity of Jean's character, and you can understand how much care the author had for his character when you watch this season. It's just amazing. You can sense that the author loves this character and has big plans for him. So yeah, definitely character that who I'm expecting not to die anytime soon. Okay, the fourth one, I would say, let's I already mentioned Marco, so I'm gonna Marco, even though he's dead, he's still in my heart, and he lives on in the story as well through Jean and all the people who knew and loved him. We saw Eren seeing him when first having this uniform on with all of his classmates there in the scouts, and we see Jean constantly mention him, and then now there is another story. So I believe Marco's story is not ended yet. Marco's story will be fully ended when we understand what happened and what Annie did to him. Annie, I hate you. No, I don't hate Annie. Like, I don't know. I don't find it in myself to hate Annie, but we will get to there. But yes, there is another story. Marco's character is gone and his impact is still there. That's how good of a character he was. So I'm gonna give Marco's character middle of the road MOR rating for the whole season, even though he was there half the season. He was so amazing, so kind to everyone. He impacted Jean especially so much, and he did this just by being himself. He's positive, good vibes, kind, nice self. Like, he was there to always lend out a hand whoever needed. He saved Daz, literally. I don't even know how I remember his name. Daz is the guy who was crying all the time. I saw him on my screen. But yeah, he saved Daz from killing himself, and he saved Jean from getting eaten by the Titan in that episode before. I think it was the same episode that he died. Oh, Marco, rest in peace, buddy. Middle of the road, and I'm still expecting to see some flashbacks about Marco. There have been some. He has been in some of the OVAs, like Sudden Visitor and Distress. I had a chance to see him in both, which I loved. So yeah, Marco's character definitely was one of my favorites, and he would be in my top 5 if he was not dead. Then Sasha. Sasha's character is someone who I believe needs to get a lot of screen time and development in season 2 for me to actually get the hope that she is a long-term character as well, because right now 3 and 4th episode that we got from Sasha was amazing. And it's interesting how the 3rd and 4th episode can be pinpointed as the starting point for many characters like Jean, Sasha, Reinar, Freckled Girl, Krista, Bert, Connie, and then how only Jean kinda got the development out of all of them, but still story lines were set up there for all of these characters. So I believe that there is a reason for that. So that reason needs to come in season 2. That's why I believe these characters I just mentioned will get more screen time and more development in season 2. Otherwise, it just is a waste of the time. It's not a good writing otherwise. And I don't believe, and just based on the pure fact of what I've seen about Attack on Titan, I don't believe that author would just decide to put them there and give them all of this content and then just never flesh any of them out. It's just impossible. So Sasha's character I have very good hopes for Sasha's character. Yeah, she gives me all of these funny vibes and like very positive and oh my god, I love you girl kind of vibes. But also she seems very skillful. The way she saved, what was that guy's name? God, I know I remember it. Samuel, which that was last time I think we saw that character, but the way she just did not hesitate, directly went to action, it just shows me that Sasha is going to, and then every time we kind of saw her, some of her scenes, she's always, as soon as some crisis happens, she's always able to avoid it. By just being very quick on her feet, very quick with her reactions. So, first of all, that way it's gonna be very useful for our side of the human beings to have someone as skillful as her. And then she has good instincts. She knows hunting. We got to see her in this Sudden Visitor. She's a hunter. She killed this huge ass boar. Amazing. Like she can track these things down. Perfect. So I believe Sasha is gonna be developed that way. Maybe she's gonna be scout in the scout, like scouting and looking for clues. Maybe Titans are that way, so we can go this way and stuff like that. So, and then I'm definitely expecting maybe to get some kind of a backstory on her, why she's so obsessed with food, for example. Or like what's that hunting village? Her hunting village was actually undermined in 3rd episode. I believe we even got the name of the hunting village, I just don't remember it. But yeah, I have good hopes for Sasha. For now her rating is middle of the road, MOR, but I hope that next season when I'm gonna finish it, I'm gonna say that she was a complex personality in this season. She gets a CP rating. I love my girl Sasha. But I will have to wait and see her 2nd season to tell you guys what I think about the importance of her character and the longevity of her character. Right now I don't know. Then there is Connie. Connie also gets middle of the road. Connie and Sasha are kinda grouped very much together. In a Sudden Visitor, it was such a wholesome and cute scene how Jean was kinda rude towards Sasha, and how Connie stood up for her and was like, you apologize to her right now for this. It was such an amazing scene. Like, Connie probably is the best character in a way of zero negative energy. He is so lively. He just makes me wanna, jump and dance, and I don't know, he just makes me energetic every time I see him on my screen. And with Connie's character, yeah, he's middle of the road as well. He's always there. He always tries out. He supports his friends, and he's just happy to be there, And also, I got some stories read from him. I think there is some kind of a thing coming about his home, because the way the author focused on Connie and him mentioning his home couple of times in different case scenarios, it's just like, why? I got suspicious in the end. I was like, why author keeps mentioning home? I mean, any character could mention it. Like, for example, once Connie mentioned it, then Sasha can do it, then Rainer, blah, 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 right? But it's always Connie, and it's always, we'll never get to go home. Oh, in my home, they would be really proud if I joined military police, when he was contemplating which garrison, which group basically to join, like scouts, garrison, or military police. So I'm predicting that we are gonna get something from Connie and from his home, but I don't know if it's gonna be in season 2, maybe in season 3, but honestly I think it's gonna be in season 2. Out of everyone right now, I feel like Connie has the biggest chance to die. I don't know why I get this feeling. I just get this feeling. It's not even something that I can explain logically. I just have a feeling that Connie has the most chances to die in season 2, and it would just destroy so everybody around him, especially Sasha and Jean. It could be some kind of a start for them, kickstart for their new storylines, of this tragic death. Like, for example, maybe for Sasha, because Sasha and Connie has been definitely, like, Jean has been with them, grouped together with them. So, for example, we have grouping of Mikasa, Eren, Armin, right? We have a grouping of, for sure, Levi, Erwin, and Hanji are kind of grouped together. And then we have, like, Jean, Sasha, and Connie, who are Jean, Sasha, and Connie. Definitely, they've been shown most of the scenes together. And then Krista and Freckled Girl together. Then Annie, I don't know, Annie, you know what? Annie is gonna get middle of the road. I cannot give complex personality to Annie, but why not? We know so much about Annie already. You know what? I'm gonna give complex personality to Annie. I just want to know. I think I've talked so much about Annie, I'm not gonna discuss much about her, but I just wanna say that I just want to know her backstory, and I don't hate Annie. I'm sorry, guys, don't get angry at me, but I don't hate Annie. I just want to know why she did what she did. So she gets complex personality, like we know her philosophy already quite well, that she's like, the system is rotten and you just got to take care of yourself. And then to these new characters, she was like, I just want the weak that get swept along the way or something like this to be considered human as well, which is quite a noble thing to say. So that's why, like, for all of these sentences and for everything, Annie saved Connie, Annie saved Jean in that time she came. So she kind of contradicts herself as well, in a way that she's supposed to be this monster that is against humanity and wants humanity to be destroyed, and then she does all of this good stuff. and she says all of this very noble stuff of her wanting weak people to be considered human and be protected as well and have a chance at life as well. So it's like she's the biggest mystery for me right now as a character. It's very hard for me to figure out, because I guess that's how it's supposed to be presented, so I understand that, but I want more. I just want to know. I want that tea. I want to know her full story. So season 2, I don't know, are we getting flashback of any in season 2? Maybe not. Season 2 has like 12 episodes or 13 episodes, I don't remember exactly. Let's see. Okay, but Annie gets complex personality, like I cannot give her middle of the road. We got to know her quite well, fortunately and unfortunately. Then there is a freckled girl. Freckled girl gets under the radar as well. She definitely got more content than Bert did, even though we don't know her name yet. She got that very interesting content in episode 3, mainly because of episode 3 I'm giving her under the radar, but then she consistently got some screen time, so that's why she's if she just got that scene where she was like, I'm gonna are you helping her then to use her, because I'm helping him to use her about Sasha, she was saying to Krista, and it's interesting how heavily connected she is to Krista, so their stories are gonna come together. Like if one is gonna get the development, and then other is gonna get development as well. They've been just always seen together. I think Krista is a little bit one up to this freckled girl, because first of all we know her name, that's that, and then we got a couple of scenes with Krista where she was not with freckled girl, but we did not really get any scenes. And even like one scene we got when they were on the trees, even then she was not with Krista, but she was asking to Bert about Krista and where she is. So it's like, what's the obsession there, girly girl? And she was like, marry me or something in earlier episodes to Krista, so maybe she has crush on Krista or loves Krista in a romantic way, God knows. But yeah, like she's a mystery as well as a character. First of all, her name is a mystery, why was never provided with her name. I just believe that the author just did not give that much shit about her character and just forgot to name her, maybe, I don't know. But I do believe that she also will get some more screen time. I don't think she will get anything big or something, like there's no way, but she will get some more screen time, I believe, some more development. Most probably, if I had to bet, she dies maybe in season 2, and then Krista, because of her death, gets even more developed. That's what I'm betting. But yeah, I don't have much hopes for her longevity at all whatsoever. Who else? Yeah, I just want to talk about Levi and how I don't like Levi's archetype characters in general. I just don't like this type of strong, cool, and me type of characters. Levi completely shattered that. Levi is so much more than that. He's just so soft. Oh my god, he's so soft. He's so unintentionally funny. His backstory killed me. I cried like a baby. I just love Levi. He's precious. He's so tough. He's so strong, so cool, very sassy and kind of rude, but this is just all the wall that Levi has built for himself. Inside he's very soft, he's very loving, he's has a very good emotional intelligence. That one scene just killed me when they were coming back from their mission in season 1, and that guy and the other one decided to go and to go, oh my god, it's so cold actually, to go and get their deceased friend's body, and then the other one died and he survived, and I was like, okay, Levi is gonna slap him, and instead of slapping him, he supported him and gave him Petra, what I believe was Petra's. Oh, poor Petra. Oh god, Petra. And Petra's Wings of Freedom logo, and said that this was your friends, and you know, this is a proof that they were alive and they will continue, something like, meaning that they will continue living through us or something like this. I was like, oh my god, I did not expect this from you, Levi, and that's all I needed to fall in love with you, you know. And I did, and then I saw his backstory, and then I saw how badass he is, what he did to Annie in just like 10 seconds. And then I saw his backstory, how his only family, 2 friends died horribly in that mission, first scouting mission. It was just, oof, it was heavy, man. So I just love Levi. Then there is Hanji. I give Levi actually middle of the road as a character, a MOR rating. I definitely am waiting much more from Levi in season 2. I definitely think that Levi is the type of a character that will make it all the way to the end, actually, that he will not die at all. And I think Levi will always be used in situations where it seems impossible, and then here comes Levi, saves the day. And then there is Hanji, which is very close to be one of my favorites of the show. She just needs to get more screen time and more development, and then she will be up there in my top 5 for sure. I just love type of characters, that Hanji type of characters, quirky, funny, genius, very obnoxious kinda, and curious. I just love Hanji and her way of living, how she goes on about life. It's just amazing, and she's very smart as well. I definitely waiting more screen time for Hanji as well in next season, especially just the way she was set up during this season. Yeah, she came in late and she did not get much after her initial introduction episode, where she got to explain a lot about herself and her motivation. But yeah, I have a lot of hopes for Hanji's character and her longevity as well. So I give her middle of the road as well as a rating. Erwin is a mystery as well. I like his character. He's very cool. He's very smart. He's kinda devilish, a little bit a troublemaker, kinda, in the sense of making sure that no matter what, he does what's needed to be done, basically, and to bring humanity one step closer to victory and being free from the Titan situation. So Erwin definitely is very pivotal part of the story for me. I think that he's gonna be used a lot moving forward in season 2 and then as long as he's alive. I don't think that he's type of a character that will make it all the way to the end, but I believe he will be gone right towards the end part of the story, you know, just before the ultimate finish. I think he will be gone, but before that I think that he's gonna be very useful. He gets middle of the road as well as a character. We got to dive in with his character quite a bit, so I cannot give him under the radar. Complex personality for sure, no, but middle of the road. Then there are so many other characters that barely made any appearance, so I'm not really gonna talk about them. Rip Levi's squad. Petra was my favorite from theirs. I thought that Petra was gonna be there for a long time, and yeah, I was cruelly mistaken. But yeah, I think I just discussed all the characters I wanted to discuss and what I'm waiting from them. Overall, it's been an amazing experience watching Attack on Titan. It's been an amazing experience watching Attack on Titan. I cannot wait to see season 2 and what it's gonna bring. I hope I will get some answers to some questions, and I hope I will get my favorite characters more on my screen. That's I guess all. I don't know how long have I been? Oh my god, hour and a half. Whoever managed to sit through all of this. Good job to you guys, like good job. Yeah, I'm gonna just now finish it. Thank you for watching so much. Subscribe if you have not already, and we'll see you very soon for season 2 episode 1 reaction of Attack on Titan. Bye, have a nice day.